listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of the TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy-dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert, and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Hi, welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika. With me today are my good friends, Petra Burke and Kate Abbott.
Hello.
Hello. From the Kindred Spirits Canine Education Center in Vista, California. Lots of our topics have been on safety. In previous podcasts, we've talked about disaster preparedness for your dog. We've talked about puppy-proofing your house and your backyard. Safety seems to be an important thing with us. Today we're going to talk about your dog in the car. We can talk about dogs in the street another time, being threatened by cars, but let's talk about your dog in the car, or your truck, or your van, or your SUV, because there's a lot of safety issues there. So hold on, listen to our sponsors for just a second. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. It's a Doggy Dog World. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Pick up something unique at A Bone to Pick Dog Boutique. A Bone to Pick has cool hip fashions for big and small dogs that will have their tails wagging in style. Cat products too. abone-to-pick.com. Check out our eco-friendly pet products and gifts for humans too. abone-to-pick.com. Get your pet's mouth watering monthly with our Gourmet Treat of the Month Club and join A Bone to Pick's free birthday club for your puppy. abone-to-pick.com. Pick up something special for your best friend at A Bone to Pick. abone-to-pick.com. Get 10% off with coupon code PETLIFE.
Pets are part of the family, and when traveling with your dog, there's only one magazine to include when packing your doggy's duffel bag, and that's Fido Friendly, the travel and lifestyle magazine for you and your dog. Each bi-monthly issue includes hotel, city, and state reviews, and doggy destinations to explore with your furry companion. Fido Friendly magazine can be found at Borders, Barnes & Noble, PetSmart, pet boutiques, and Fido Friendly hotels nationwide. Or you can go online to subscribe at www.fidofriendly.com. So get traveling with your pet today and leave no dog behind. And remember, Fido Friendly's the only magazine dedicated to the travel lifestyle of man's best friend, and the one magazine your dog will thank you for.
New York, the glitz, the glamour, the exciting Mutt-tropolis, the sparkling kitty city that never sleeps. Join us each week for Pets in the City with your host, Diane West. Celebrity pet sightings, hot events, and news and reviews with the hottest movers, shakers, and tail waggers in New York. So take a bite out of the Big Apple with Pets in the City every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm Liz. With me today are Petra and Kate. And there's a particular reason why we're talking about safety in the car. I had a really unfortunate experience. Horrible experience this last week. Two cars ahead of me on a state highway, not a huge freeway, but a 4-lane state highway, had a teenage girl in the passenger seat with her dog on her lap. Looked like a Sheltie mix. Cute little dog when I saw it fly out the passenger window. Yeah. Now, I don't know whether the dog jumped or lost his balance. The car didn't swerve. I didn't see that. But anyway, the dog went out the passenger window, and the poor unfortunate man in the lane to the right of us hit the dog. The benefit to the dog was he didn't suffer. It happened right away. But the gentleman in the car to the right of us had a dog in his car, obviously a dog lover. He was angry, upset. The teenage owner of the dog was hysterical. Mom was trying to blame the gentleman in the car who hit the dog. I took my big, huge white van, turned it diagonal across 2 lanes, turned the flashers on, and said, "Whoa, that's enough." I said, he didn't have a chance. I saw the whole thing. He couldn't swerve anywhere. But the downfall is the dog was on the girl's lap, the window was open, the dog went out, the dog is now dead, and everybody concerned is upset. So there's a lot of problems with that.
And yet we want to take our dogs with us places and go and do things, so keeping them safe in the car. Actually, even before you get in and out of the car, that's one of our pet peeves, mine especially, is seeing somebody pull into a parking lot, open the door, and there goes dog flying.
Boy, and how many times have we had that happen?
Yeah, I had it here.
Yeah.
And it shows you don't have to, because, I mean, you had your incident on the freeway as well. But your dog stayed in the car with the door open, so it can be done.
So teaching them to wait before they get in the car, not just the signal of you opening the door, fly in, but wait when you give them a command to get in the car. When you open the car when you're at someplace, they have to wait and be given permission to get out once their leash is on.
If you even want them to get out.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the answer is no, as I tell my dog.
Yeah, you may have to open the door for something, like, I don't know, clean out trash in the back seat or whatever,
Sure.
You leave it open, turn around, dump it, turn around, your dog is still sitting there waiting.
Yes, ideally.
Yep.
All doors, front doors, back doors to your house, but also the car door.
Car, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It's another barrier.
And if you have your dog in a truck, like me, I mean, still there. If I have my dogs jump in before I tie him down, just because I turn my back doesn't mean you jump back out or anything. So we see that as well. Too many times. Dog flying out of the back.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of different ways to keep your dog safe. I have to admit that before this accident, I had gotten a little sloppy and allowed my dogs to ride.
It's a confession.
No.
True confessions.
Write down this date.
But I went home afterwards, put the crates back in the back of my van, tied them down to the hooks in the back of the van, and the dogs are back to riding in the crate. Crates can work particularly well. We've sure used them before when we travel. It's nice to have a secure spot for the dog where should you brake suddenly or swerve or the load shift, the dog is not going to be squashed.
That's from experience.
And when you're traveling with the dog, then the crate can go in the motel room with you. But even in daily day riding around, the dog in a crate gives the dog a safe place.
And to keep them safe, if you should happen to slam on the brakes, not even get into an accident, just slam onto the brakes.
Yeah.
Do you want 45 to over 100 pounds of dog flying through the air?
Well, that's what happened again. I mean, I think it was a week prior to your incident that you witnessed. One of our students came in and was so terrified and shook up. That's what she did. She hit the brakes to avoid something. Her dog was in the passenger seat.
Yep.
It was an Aussie. Windows rolled down, and she went flying. She goes, before I knew it, my dog is standing there in front of me on the street looking at me like, how'd I get here? And me thinking, how did it get there?
Yeah.
And she was, luckily nothing happened to the dog, and the dog
was
fine.
Bruised. Yeah, a little bruised, but she was okay. Yeah, she was very, very lucky.
But it was restrained or in a crate.
And boy, wouldn't she have felt horrible if she'd not been able to stop in time and hit her own dog.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
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 That would have been horribly traumatic.
And say somebody does pull out in front of you, you slam on the brakes, you're just about to avoid them, and then here comes 65 pounds of dog from the back seat into your front seat, into your lap, into your steering wheel.
Or into the dash or the windshield.
Through the windshield.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Another one is putting barriers. They have the variety of barriers. I know I used to have an SUV and it had the metal barrier. Looked like a metal crate kind of thing.
Which doesn't stop your dog from perhaps getting bruised up, but it does stop them from interfering with you safely handling your vehicle.
And it'll keep the dog from hitting the dashboard or the windshield, or it'll slow down his travel.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's not too much momentum to damage him.
Let's talk about the different kinds of crates, too, though. You got your airline plastic
I put
crate.
the wire crates in this time. We've used the plastic ones before. But two of my dogs are susceptible to heat. Riker and Archer both just pant a lot. They get warm very easily. So I put wire crates in that have more ventilation. And then because I often carry loads in my van, the reason why I have a big van, these fold down and they collapse. And they take up a lot less room. And they collapse very easily. So a couple of clip, 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 boom, they're down.
Yeah.
And then I can load stuff in there.
Then the other one is the airline type crate, the plastic ones. And I know those are great. Well, I think I'm with you. I'd rather have a wire one if it's in a vehicle. But outside, if you have a pickup truck.
Sure, it's a little more protection.
Yep, those work great. There's still obviously plenty of ventilation. A little more safe, enough shade for them. So the back of pickup trucks, those work
And
wonderful.
Paul and I did that for years. When we had our pickup, we had the crates
picked it
in
up
the
from
back.
you guys, and we did it for a long time.
Yeah.
Statistically, the plastic airline crates are the safest, and then the wire, and then the cloth collapsible ones are...
I consider those a purse
Yeah.
or a bag.
Yeah.
I don't like to put them in with crates because they aren't really any protection.
None.
They may keep the dog in one spot when the dog is still, but it's not going to stop the dog from flying through the air. And boy, we've heard the stories of dogs chewing through them too.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and then if the worst happens and you do have an accident, okay, you're trapped, EMTs are working on you. A crate where they can get to your dog and lift them out and put them safely aside.
right,
Without worrying about getting bit because your dog's upset.
right. Or your dog trying to protect you because you might be hurt.
Or getting loose and running around on the freeway and
Right.
getting squashed. So
Yep.
it is a great
Yes.
idea.
Some other things that have been marketed very heavily, seatbelt harnesses.
A lot of people downsizing their cars, what with the price of gas and all.
Yeah, exactly.
May not have room for a crate in their car.
Nope.
To me, those are second choice. No offense to the manufacturers.
Yeah.
But we have heard of people come to class whose dogs have chewed through them. And then, their investment in the setup is gone, plus the dog is now loose. So I would prefer the crates first, but that's certainly an alternative.
I have to admit, I have a harness for both my dogs, in their appropriate size, that I use in the MGB because my little project car is under restoration. It has no roof. No roof
And you
at all.
can't fit a crate in
I
that.
can't fit a crate in the MG.
Well, you could put a luggage rack on the back and then mount the crate.
And put a Rottweiler in it. Yeah, that'll get me seen around town.
Yeah, the Roddy crate would be bigger than the car.
So they have part of it, and that part of it is so they don't jump out. Part of it is so they don't get thrown out.
Sure.
And it's as much measure of safety as I can give them when riding in that vehicle.
Sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Years and years ago, in a galaxy far, far away, Paul and I had one of those little Volkswagen, what do they call them, Maxes? The little plastic fiberglass things with the roll bar, the Baja Bugs.
Oh, like a dune buggy bug.
Dune buggy bug.
Right.
We had one. It was bright lime green with chrome roll bars, and that was when we had the two German Shepherds. And Paul and I would sit up front, and the two German Shepherds on the elevated back seat behind us.
Oh, man.
And boy, those dogs loved it. We probably caused more accidents because we were sitting in the low front seats and could hardly be seen, and here's two German Shepherds. And they were both big German Shepherds, over 100 pounds.
And you know, they're whispering, faster, faster.
Faster, yes. Faster, faster. Must go faster. Anyway, this was before the commercial seatbelt hookups, so I took 2 harnesses, fastened each dog to the roll bar, and cross-tied them. Dogs weren't going anywhere. They loved it, but that gave me a feeling of safety for the dogs. And it was great fun. So, just like your MTB.
I have to confess, too, my previous cockapoo used to ride on my motorcycle with me.
Was he seatbelted?
There was no seatbelt. No. All he could do was sit between my knees. No, I did because Liz's husband teaches a motorcycle safety class. So I did go through the motorcycle safety class with my dog.
Oh, very good. Okay.
So what I bungeed was a carpet to the gas tank.
So he didn't slide.
And I taught him to sit there and first I put him in my down vest. Everybody wore down vests in the 70s. Anyway. And then just
you admitted the year. I just said a galaxy far, far away.
And he learned to sit up there even when I was going through turns, even when I went to lay the bike down.
Oh.
He would learn to just step off of it and wait for me. Come on, get it back up. Let's
See,
go
they don't
again.
teach that anymore.
They don't.
No, they don't want you to lay it down because too many people ended up under cars.
Oh.
So now they teach you evade.
Evade.
Yes,
We
evade.
do that too.
If you lay it down, you flunk.
If you evade, her cockapoo would have gone flying.
And like you
something
say,
else to evade.
that's what reminded me is because he did fine. We never had any problems, but I'm sure we caused accidents behind us as people went by going, look, Ethel, it's a dog riding on that bike. Because I did like to put a checkered scarf on him. My father was a pilot, and I was worried about bugs in his eyes, so I would use human swim goggles and make him wear those. I tried getting a windshield for the motorcycle. He hated it. He would lean off the bike to get the wind in his ear. So I took that off and put goggles on him. So,
Dear.
these are not recommended methods of transport, but we're confessing today.
True confessions at Doggy Dog World.
Well, at least I was safe with my dogs all the time.
Right.
We won't go there. All right.
And for the smaller dogs?
Well, actually, I was thinking the harnesses that I've seen people when they put their dogs in the back of the truck, just tied to their collar, bumper collar, or
their
chain, choke chain.
Yes.
Seen a dog hang on the side.
Yes,
Like it just happened. You're waving to the guy, going, "Your dog," and he's like, "What?" You idiot. You know?
Let's tie a dog down, buy a choke chain, and then hope nothing happens.
Yeah. No. But I've seen, because I've actually used the harnesses, nice fitting harness, and then put them to the back where they couldn't reach over the side.
Cross-tied.
And that's
cross-tied.
cross-tie is
They're
what Liz mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Explain cross-tying.
Cross-tying basically is making sure the dog is in a specific spot by using a tie to each side. So you're giving him very limited freedom of movement. If you tie a dog with one leash to one spot, unless that leash is only 6 inches long, which is, again, not advisable, he's got a lot of freedom of movement. But if you cross-tie him, you put 2 leashes on, or 2 tie-downs, or whatever you're going to use, that gives the dog a little bit of movement, but he's very limited movement.
One of the other things we'd done, this is one of the husbands, I'm not sure which one. Anyway.
Nature has had 3.
True confessions.
A chain from one side, like with the near the back of the cab, and a chain across, and the dogs would get with a harness on that chain with a swivel, so they couldn't go anywhere. But the chain was bolted to the vehicle. You know what I'm saying? And they bolted to that, and then they were fine. They knew exactly this is their spot. They don't move, and it was just enough where they could lay down, but they couldn't go to the side. They couldn't put their feet over. I mean, they were very safe.
And that's one of the keys with cross-tying is that they can't get to the side and fall. You know, if they can get their Neck over, then the rest of the body can get swung out, and then they're hanging by their neck.
Right.
Exactly.
So keep them back from the sides.
Right. Well, there's one other method of confining the dog in the car let's talk about real quick. It's obviously limited to particular size of dogs. Since you have an itty bitty one, go for it.
Little dog boosters.
Booster seats.
They look like, this reminds me of a box, and you put your dog in it, and you can harness it to the box. But there are all sorts.
There's all kinds.
A lot of them look nice. I guess I would. Maybe in the wintertime they'd be nice. To me, it'd be too warm. I mean, with a coat, I could see a little Chihuahua or something that doesn't have much of a coat. But they just seem too confined and warm.
I think the theory with some of the doggy travel seats is to lift the dog up a little bit so they can see out the window.
But see, if you have a Tundra and you have the center console, you can hook it up just right. The dogs can see right out.
Petra loves her truck. Well, and it depends. I was looking at Katie's today. Katie's a little tiny cockapoo. It actually fits into the seatbelt system of the car.
Yeah.
So the booster seat is held in place. And then there is a separate harness attached to the booster seat that goes on the dog. So it keeps her in place, and she was happy. She's quite used to it, jumps in, settles down.
And they do feel safe because they are in a smaller confined area.
Half a
it's
crate.
very nice. Yeah.
Basically, it's like half a crate.
And I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
They come in all
different kinds.
Real fancy.
Sure.
You can find them in any of those dog catalog supply things on the internet all the time.
All right, well, we need to take a break for our sponsors, so hold on. We've got a lot more to talk about when we get back.
Sit. Stay. It's a doggy dog world. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Does your dog have problems walking with its back legs? If so, your dog is one of 58 million dogs that suffer with problems with its rear leg. Problems such as spinal myelopathy, arthritis, and hip dysplasia. Bottoms Up Leash helps your dog walk. It's a rear support harness that has won numerous awards such as Dog Fancy's Editor's Choice Award as Product of the Year, and it's been featured on CBS and Good Morning America. Visit the website www.seniorpetsupplies.com.
Greetings, human. What planet am I on?
Welcome to Pet Planet. Here's a copy of Pet Planet Magazine, Florida's most informative and fun pet resource magazine. It features heartwarming stories and informative articles from local and national pet experts.
Excellent.
Pet Planet Magazine offers Operation Planet Rescue, helping rescued pets find new homes. And it's available at 500 locations in South and Central Florida and 24/7 on the internet at petplanetmagazine.com. If you're out and about with your pet, you may be featured in paparazzi, candid pictures of you and your pet. For up-to-date pet-friendly events, activities, and pet-related services and products, Pet Planet Magazine is your final destination.
I shall take this magazine home with me.
Back to your home planet?
No, to my condo in Boca.
Pet Planet Magazine. Check them out at www.petplanetmagazine.com or 352-394-8578. It's out of this world.
Here's the story of a lovely lady who is bringing up 3 very lovely goals. Join us every week on Wings and Things and get a bird's eye view of everything there is to know about pet birds and how to make your frequent flyer a happy camper. Wings and Things. That's the way we became the Birdie Bunch. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. This is your host, Liz Palika, with my good friends Petra Burke and Kate Abbott. Today we're talking about safety, dog safety in the car. First half of the show, we talked about how to keep your dog safe in the car in one spot. Restraints, whether it be crates or barriers or seat belts or travel seats, but just ways to keep your dog safe in the car and restrained. But there's a lot of other things that relate to dog safety.
Motion sickness.
What?
We hear that all the time.
The Basset. I got the call from the people How do we cure this? I mean, a basset with motion sickness.
Projectile.
Projectile vomiting. Oh, not a fun trip in the car. Of course, they waited till their second trip while they were already on the road to call.
But we also got a clue as to what was going on there, too. Apparently, the husband likes to drive and get there, gosh darn it, and goes many hours without the dog getting a chance to get out, walk around, take a break, go potty, get a drink. And
they were going through mountains.
They were going through mountains. I'm sure the dog had a full bladder, was thirsty, was tired, was cramped, got stressed, and it turned his tummy.
Yeah, exactly.
And so now he's
it wouldn't mine.
Yeah, no kidding.
He associates riding in the car with throwing up.
Sure. So they're going to have to start all over again and acclimatize him to the car and make it fun again.
Shorter trips,
just maybe down the driveway and back initially.
And sometimes that's really all it takes is if you do have a dog that has car sick or motion sickness, little trips, and start increasing it little by little. I think, what was it, Bashir was a puppy. Oh, I remember that little trip.
Yeah, and the way home from the breeder, puked in Petra's lap.
Cool. Yeah.
And the breeder had given, apparently the breeder was afraid I wasn't going to feed the poor puppy. She gave him a huge breakfast.
I mean, his brother Logan might be a pain, but he never got car sick. It's like, thanks, Bashir. I've been christened by a puppy.
Well, you know what? He never did it again. So apparently your reaction, he never did it again.
Oh, my great.
Petra going, blah! Poor puppy. But then again,
what happened to poor me?
No.
He knows that poor puppy.
You didn't get any sympathy when I picked up the goose and it pooped all over me on Saturdays.
No, that's funny.
Yeah. See? There.
But there's a few other things that can help car sickness. The Bach flower remedy, rescue remedy. Mm-hmm. They also make one specifically for motion sickness, I believe, although I don't remember the name of it. Ginger, peppermint are both very good. You can put those in the dog's water prior to him going for a car ride. And
keep in mind that just like people, some dogs are more susceptible to it.
Sure.
Sometimes putting them in the crate with maybe a light sheet over it or something, so they actually can't see the world going by at 70 miles an hour, or 55.
Opening a window so the dog gets some air on the crate. Yes.
The kind of stuff that you would do for a person with motion sickness.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about the dog going in and out of the car. I've got a dog with hip dysplasia. You've got one with a bad back. Jumping into, especially those of us who have vans or trucks, SUVs, high vehicles, can be a problem. Ramps are certainly one way to help the dog in and out.
Yeah, I've still got my ramp in the back, although my girl doesn't need it right now, but it's nice
Knock
to know
on
it's
wood.
there.
Yeah. Riker does pretty good, except when he's tired. When he's tired, I let him in the side of the van, which has the extra step, and he does there. I had read about a couple different step hookups, one of which hooks up to your...
your hitch?
Yeah, your hitch.
Oh, that swings out.
Yeah.
Swing out.
There's one called the Auto Step. Auto, O-T-T-O. I believe it's named after a dog, I'm assuming. It hooks to the hitch, and it swings out, and the dog can climb up that way. I have not seen one in use, and I figured if I see one, or if they have, send me a sample.
Warning, broad hint just occurred. Are you paying attention?
Petra, you have the hitch. We'll have you give it a try.
Yeah, exactly. I can try it out.
But there's a variety of different steps and ramps, and I think what's important is if a dog does have a disability of some kind, let's not make the poor guy climb or jump the whole height.
Jumping out was even worse for my girl with her, when she had bone cancer, and for now my girl with bad back. I don't want him jumping out and putting that stress on them.
On the shoulders, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So there's a lot of different alternatives there. Keeping the dog comfortable inside, outside of the crate. I think you're the only one I know of that had a water bed in your truck.
It's called the
right.
Canine Cooler, and it's absolutely wonderful. If anyone has ever slept on a waterbed that the heater wasn't working, you know how cold it is. So that's the idea. It's a thin piece of foam sandwiched in a heavy-duty plastic, and You buy it, take it home, add some water. Now you guys are giggling.
But I remember the time it leaked.
That was an early version.
Her truck was going potty in the parking lot.
No, it was pee. It was pee all over. This is true. But it was also 6 or 7 years old by that time. Anyway, got another one. So on warm days, I noticed Gene and Walter will get back there and lay on it. It acts like a heat sink.
Sure.
Of course, they laugh at me because the back of my pickup, I've got a shell on it, and then I put a false bottom.
You have to have a shell because it's full up to the top of the bed of the pickup.
And if somebody needs something, they always ask me, and amazingly enough, I usually have it.
That's
From kites to water beds.
Yeah. So I'm a pack rat, but then they come to me when they want something.
Something else that's important is that a lot of people probably don't think about is screens or guards for the windows. Because
I have a shell with the slide open windows with screens. Fortunately, while stopped one time, I noticed my friend's Irish setter go right through the screen. Like it wasn't even there. Like I say, fortunately we were stopped. That's when I decided that wasn't enough to keep the dogs in. So I just got rid of the screens, and I used the wire mesh shelving that you would normally put up in your closet to organize.
Which I have in my closet. The white vinyl covered metal shelf. And it works great.
So I hooked that up vertically instead of the screens on the inside. So now I can open the windows without worrying about the dogs falling out.
Or people sticking their hands in.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen a window open and somebody reach in? Oh, nice doggy. Even the nicest doggy could protect his car.
When I was doing some research on this subject, I found this interesting product that I have yet to see, but it's a window screen for your passenger windows. Add it and remove it. It's got mesh on the inside, so it's more than a screen. The dog can't fall out, but you can roll your window down, insert this screen, and then roll your window up enough to give tension.
Ah, okay.
And you can go down the road this way.
Sure.
Or leave on it's been said 1,000,000 times, but we'll say it again. Never leave your dog alone
in the vehicle
on any kind of warm day.
Hot, warm, lukewarm day.
Or cold.
Oh.
Your car can be an oven, your car can be a refrigerator.
Yeah. And especially dark vehicles, they heat up. Now, I have a white van with a huge amount of airspace and lots of windows that open, and I will admit, if I park in the shade, it'll stay cool for a long time. But I also have battery-powered fans that mount in the windows.
Yeah.
That can bring a cross breeze in. Have one of them blowing out, one of them blowing in, and we can make sure there's air circulation in there. But even when we've traveled and we've parked in the shade and left the dogs in, we go back every few minutes and check on them because it doesn't take long at all. I mean, how many law enforcement dogs have we heard have died when the car's engine stalled and the air conditioning went out?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So
air conditioning goes out, but the windows are all up. And
it doesn't take long at all.
I actually, in the top of my camper shell in the back of my pickup, I put a solar-powered fan that I got at a boat supply.
Oh,
So that it can circulate. It's not cooling, but it keeps cooler air. It keeps the air circulating and moving.
Sure.
Which helps keep.
Well, that's what my window fans for the van do. One pushes air out, one brings air in, and they will run for 20 hours. They take 6D batteries, and they will run on high for 20 hours. I tested them.
Wow. They're nice to have.
They are. They're very nice. And actually, should we mention they were at Walmart?
There you go.
There you go.
This is in no way an endorsement. However, they are available.
In the camping supply and auto section. Because I love them. And they're in the van all the time. So in case I need them.
Well, the other thing I have in the false bottom I put in is a travel bowl that can carry water without it splashing too much.
And I always carry water. There's always water in my van, whether it be for people or for dogs. But especially with, how easy is it to carry water nowadays with bottled water?
Oh, exactly.
You can get a case of bottled water, put it in there, it's always there.
And even if your dog doesn't need to replenish fluids, they need something cool to get on their tongue to help them do heat exchange when they're warm. But, even with a solar fan and the grills on the side of the windows and all of that, I will still look at the day and say, nope, it's too warm, you guys stay home.
Yes.
Do the same thing.
You still have to take as many precautions as you can, but still use common sense.
Yep, exactly.
And just one more thing in the cat world is not so much here in San Diego, well, maybe in the colder months, in areas where there is cold weather, colder than San Diego usually gets.
Really. We're pretty lucky.
No. We're spoiled rotten.
And
we love it.
We do pay a sunshine tax.
Yeah.
But I remember living back east, and in cold weather, cats you come home with a nice warm engine. You go inside to your home. Outside cats say, oh, look, a nice warm spot to curl up for the night. They curl up, you come out in the morning to go to work, they're still curled up to sleep. Too many cats got their tails caught in the radiator
fan blades,
fans.
the belt, or they're stuck there and panicked out of their mind because the car's running. Oh, we had that case not too long ago, a couple of years ago. Remember the kitten that rode all the way down from Orange County was stuck in the car going the whole way.
Yeah, stressed out. Amazing, he made it.
But that kitten will probably never, ever voluntarily go in a car again.
And it's just an easy enough thing, just to give a couple bangs on the hood as you start scraping the snow off your windshield and putting your de-icer in the key lock.
De-icer? What's that?
What's that? Summer season. Who wants to think about ice and snow?
This is going to be on the internet for posterity. You never know.
On that note, we'll call it quits. All we want to do is help keep you and your dog safe. So think about some of our hints. Perhaps they'll work for you and your dog in your vehicle. I know every dog owner, every car is slightly different, but depending on what your routine is, take a listen to our hints and just think about keeping your dog safe for us. So that's it. I'm Liz.
I'm Petra.
Bye from Kate.
And that's it. We'll see you next time.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding. Every week, on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.